Just ahead on Studio 6, breaking up is hard to do. I mean, have you seen the breakup with Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston? That movie's hard to watch. But good news, life does go on. And today, tips for getting over your lost love and recovering from your broken heart.
You got to get on with your life. You got to let go of the past. And Mikey, when you do, I'm telling you, the future is beautiful. All right? Look out the window. It's sunny every day here. It's like manifest.
All right, well, this guy in Swingers, and it's not that kind of Swingers, all right? So he spends the whole movie trying to get over a breakup. Yeah, they're laughing about it, but when it's you, it's not so funny. So we have Jeske, our relationship coach, here to tell us life after a breakup. How do we move on? We were talking about difficult breakups at the beginning of our broadcast. So how long should it take, I mean, in a healthy way to get over? Is 5 years too long?
I so wish there was a magic number where I could be like 3 weeks and 7.2 hours. But there are a couple factors involved. So depending on how long you were with your partner, longer relationships may take a little bit more time to get over. The depth of your relationship. You know, sometimes we date people who we kind of like, and sometimes we date people who we're so into. The so intos are going to be a little bit longer. And
or like if you're engaged to somebody.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
No, do we just need to stop this segment and do a little group therapy here? I think maybe.
We probably could, but for the sake of time, let's not.
And for the sake of the viewers, they want to get something out of this.
Well, and it also depends on how attached you get to people. Some of us, we get really connected with people, not just people we date, but our friends, our family, the people in our lives. If you're like that, it might take you a little bit longer too, because you're mourning this. It's a loss.
Yes.
And so what are some of the things that you can do to try to recover and at the same time not repeat, Yeah,
you want to give yourself time. You want to grieve. You want to mourn, which is something that in this culture we don't have a lot of role models of how to grieve.
Yeah.
You know, we like try to bury it.
You know, go ahead and take that whole 15 minutes and then get out there.
And I don't want to see it. You do it over there. I don't want to see it over here. But really, you need to let yourself grieve and mourn and do it, and you get, ugly, whatever you need to do.
Cry.
Yeah, and get through it. Let yourself be comforted by friends. Lean on the people who you love, who you know you can be ugly around, and they'll be okay with that, And then it's a great time for you to find something that you love that maybe you weren't able to do when you were in this relationship, and kind of put yourself into it after you've mourned. Give yourself that time and then find something you can focus on.
What, real kind of a side question. So what happens to the people that they think that they've grieved or mourned or whatever, but maybe it comes back later.
Right.
And they don't realize it until that happens.
That's why I say give yourself time, because grief has a way of sneaking up on us. You may think like, oh, I don't need it. I'm just going to go out. I'm going to party. I'm going to meet someone new. Everything's going to be fine.
Push everything down.
Yep. And then like one day when you least expect it, it may come, kind of seeping out. So you really need to let yourself have that time. There's no shame in taking time to let yourself mourn.
And maybe Jake can provide some insight. Is it different for girls and guys? Because we just saw that clip from Swingers. Like the whole movie kind of revolves around Jon Favreau's character and him getting past it. I mean, do you think guys mourn differently?
Well, absolutely. What you do is you get together with your guy friends and then you let them talk bad about her for like 6 hours.
Are you being true?
No, seriously, that's what we do.
Yeah. So true. And then you're good until the morning, and then you're right back in it.
And so then you grieve in your own way, right? And you find something to immerse yourself in. You start, having poker nights with your guys, or things you weren't maybe able to do when you were in a relationship, and then you move on as well.
Well, so so moving on, like what can we do to move on? What are those things?
So you look at your past relationship, because often we have a way of elevating it and creating a fantasy about it. Like, oh, I miss those vacations we never took that we were always going to take. Or I miss how he did this, and maybe that's not the reality. So be real. Be real with what happened. Look at what worked. Look at what didn't work. And then you start to think about, what do I want in my life? What do I truly want in my life, and who do I want to be in that next relationship? So you set yourself up for success in the future. Look at you. Because you're now moving on.
Right. Pepper Turkey, my boyfriend, I would say that's probably pretty much, I had an idea in my head of what I wanted. Who would have known you would have met somebody so great in a deli? Yeah.
You never know. But you have to have that idea, because if you don't have an idea, you might walk right past him at the deli.
I'll take that piece of meat.
All right, so what's our homework for next week?
You know what I find that my hand is in my, or my head's in my hands a lot during your segments. It's just, oh my gosh.
And it's usually not me that puts it there, right?
Never you. It's never you.
That one.
So your homework. If you are single and you are ready to move on, make a list of what you want in your next relationship. If you're not single, if you are not wanting to move on, look at another area of your life of something you want, whether it's your career, your family, your personal life, and make a list of what you truly want in your life so you can start moving towards that.
Gosh, I don't know why that works, but you're right.
It does.
Really
You got to
does.
put it out in the world so it can come to you. It's a little woo-woo, but I believe it.
I agree, not too.
Is there truth to the math equation? Like, if you dated someone 4 years, it takes like half that time?
Is this Charlotte York's thing? Or?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it takes half the time to get over them. No, there's no truth.
For some people, maybe. And sometimes having an idea like, okay, in 2 months I'll be better, gives us comfort. So if you need that comfort, you know, you can give yourself those 2 months. But some of us need a little more flexibility.
And plus, every piece of chocolate is 1 week off.
Right. What's coming up next week, Julie?
Next week, we are talking about how to ask for what you want in the bedroom.
Ooh, there's going to be lots of
lots of head in the hand.
Yeah, head in the hand.
Oh, she just said
this
that.
one's not allowed in that segment.
If there's something specific people want to know about, they are free to contact me on my website, or I have a new Facebook page.
Wow.
So you can contact me through that, and I'm happy to address those too.
Okay. We'll be right back.